me on a good schedule, etc., etc. But then I don't like it because like I want to tell you guys like what's going on and this and that, but it's like, then what's the point of uploading the vlogs? Yes, I will say I am still on semaglutide. I took my 4th injection today. Spit it out.
Come on, come on. Amberlynn has uploaded. The date of her upload is February 7th of 2025, and she put the time at 3 a.m. Today's the 16th, so this is over a week old now. Not really sure why she's putting the time. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to my calendar. Well, welcome to Curly Views for You guys. If this is your first time here, hey, I'm Curly. I started a channel because if folks like Amberlynn Reid and Foodie Beauty utilize this platform, I need to, because I'm trying to reach my fellow women, my fellow people of color. I'm trying to reach out to anybody in the queer community, all of us folks on the other side of the tracks from Amberlynn. I think it's important for us to get out here and, you know, show that there's normalcy instead of just these train wrecks. All right, let's see what this is about. It is titled My Last Response to Beck, and it's only 10 minutes. So let's see how much she can burn. Let's see how much she can burn in 10 minutes and 22 seconds.
Actually, February 7th at 3 a.m. in the morning. Yes, I should be asleep, but here I am awake filming a video. I was actually getting ready to get comfy and try to sleep.
I think she's normally up at these hours. At the height of my depression, which it seems like Amberlynn has been in a depressive episode because she hasn't gotten help for it probably her whole life, just as I have. And, you know, I got help for it in the last couple years. At the height of my depression, I wasn't sleeping well at all. My sleep schedule was completely messed up. I was doing, what was this weird stuff? Like, I didn't even have the sleep schedule when I worked 3rd shift. It was staying up till about 5, 6. Then I would go to sleep. And then I would get up at like noon, 1, and then, you know, same thing, stay up till 5 a.m. It was a really, really, really horrible sleep schedule. And then after probably a couple weeks, I probably slept like that for a good month. And I definitely noticed at the, like, when I finally was like, okay, I have to get this under control because it's destroying my life. I felt crazed. Like, I felt that I was just always tired. I felt that some of the thoughts I was having were just not healthy at all in terms of, I really didn't give a fuck. I was just like, I don't care, you know, I'm going to just stay sad and whatnot. But, you know, I turned it around. I'm pretty sure the first thing, I'll have to go back and check, but the first thing that I did was get my sleep in order. Once that is locked down, everything else kind of, falls into place.
I'm the greatest. I've just been having a lot of anxiety, and when I have a lot of anxiety, I go to sleep really late, and I genuinely hate it. Something I've suffered with the majority of my life. But anyways, I could have...
See, exactly. She has... I'm not surprised that she's had this issue for her whole life. I think at least for the last 10 years since she's documented her life. I'm pretty sure we started the Crystal era where she would be up late. I think, wasn't she saying she like would let the dog out, Monkey, at like 2 or 4 a.m. or some nonsense because she was still up?
Totally slept and waited till tomorrow to film this, but I think it's just so heavy that like I have to do it now so I can just be completely done with it.
You know what's heavy, Amber? Look down, baby girl.
I watched Beck's new video that they posted tonight or today,
and this is only 10 minutes long. I'm gonna make a prediction. Amberlynn isn't going to take any accountability. She's gonna throw the buzzword of accountability out there, but it's gonna be Beck is lying. That never happened. They're exaggerating what really happened. I'm the victim, all this. So I'm going to try to put a checklist up of that and we'll see what we get through.
Or whatever, but it was a new one. So that video genuinely shocked me and it made me feel stupid and dumb. And it made me realize that like the way that I viewed our relationship was completely wrong. And yes, to a lot of things, even to the extent of the way that I treated them. So I want to be accountable in that.
I'm telling you, I know it's one of those things where I'm essentially like looking for it, but I've never seen, I haven't seen Amberlynn Reid in my, you know, year, whatever of watching. I have never seen her use a speech bubble ever. But in my video, like a week ago, I definitely used the speech bubble in my thumbnail for Mama Lynn when she said, "Girl, you're weird." First it was the sparkle, now it's the speech bubble, Amberlynn. Stop copying me.
But this is just the example that I saw in their newest video where it made me look back and be like, yeah, like we both actually viewed this relationship completely different. So in their new video, they were reacting to a compilation video of me being rude to them for 10 minutes straight. And in the reaction, Beck stated multiple times that it's obvious that they didn't want to be on camera. And they said, oh, look at me zoning out while she's talking. And it's like, both of those things like genuinely hurt. And it made me realize like, I didn't even notice these things. Just like how when I was in a relationship with them, I didn't notice.
See, so she films this video at 3 a.m. and now this is probably 5 a.m. and she's going back and being editor Lynn. And she just further needs to over-explain and just try to explain. Amberlynn, if you are here, baby girl, I think you should just tell the truth. No matter how bad it is, I think you should just tell the truth because you're not able to get out of your own way. And truth is always the best policy. Will you receive some hate for it? Yes. But you could also receive, at least try to build your integrity and the respect of your audience. Yeah, because you're just, it's all like false illusion that that she just spouts off. Like nobody's having the same experience as everybody else, right? But we do interact with each other and share experiences. It's like Amberlynn never reached that part. Like it's always Amberlynn. It's nobody else. Everything's happening to her. It's always her moment, you know?
How mean or rude I could come off until looking back. And I just feel super remorseful.
You were rude and mean on purpose. So okay, yeah, I don't like whoever this Lynn is.
I viewed our whole relationship a certain way that it wasn't. I genuinely thought that they wanted to be on camera and that they were okay with being on camera. And I was so accustomed to them zoning out or seeming like they didn't want to be on camera.
You know, she's so fucking disrespectful, dude. Amberlynn, when Amberlynn did not shower, in the Crystal era, Crystal made it abundantly clear that she did not want to be on camera. And guess what? 23-year-old, yeah, I guess it'd be 10 years, 23, 24-year-old Amberlynn did. Every chance she got to embarrass Crystal, she did. So if Crystal was in her pajamas, she'd be like, oh, Crystal, look. And then like she'll show her from like the neck down. And Crystal's like still in her pajamas or something. Or if Crystal was near her and they were about to go out, so Crystal was dressed, they both were dressed, like she would like pick at her and like, see, look what Crystal's wearing. She's wearing this tank top with this shirt and this t-shirt and these jeans, like, and picking at her. Maybe that's where the picking started too, the back picking stuff. Just a mess.
Like that was normal for me, but I didn't know that the zoning out and the look on their face, et cetera, was like an indication that they weren't listening to me or that they didn't want to be.
Because you do not interact with other people around you. I've constantly asked this question. When she's in a room with another person, it's as if she's only talking to us, the audience, while the other person's in the room. Then she'll try to pull the other person into the video. And if they don't want to be in the video, that's when she's like, okay, well, anyways, they don't want to be in the video. So, and then just goes off and tells us more mundane bullshit about her life. I can't imagine sitting across from her in like a restaurant where she's filming herself, talking about the food that's in front of her, reaching over to talk about my food. Now, you want to see food aggression? For me, growing up with, I would say it was food insecurity. Again, I am a child of, neglectful parenting and drug addict and alcoholic. And I'm currently, I've decided in the past couple of years that having those people around me are not conducive to a good mind for me. I feel like I've given a good effort, and I've tried many different avenues, and me as the child, I've finally reached the point where, I didn't decide to bring me into this world. I'm just surviving it. And it looks like I have to do that pretty solo, which, I am strong enough to survive. And I was strong enough to survive growing up. Anyway, back to the food insecurity. Listen, do not come for my plate without asking. And 9 times out of 10, if I'm making something, I am definitely asking the other person if they want any. I will ask multiple times if you tell me no. Because I asked, if you tell me no, and then I make the plate, make a perfect plate for myself, and then you decide that you want to eat off of my plate, now you done pissed me off. Because I already asked if you wanted some. I put enough on my plate for myself. Now you're taking from that. And I've never thrown anything at somebody, like a I wanted to say Sprite Zero, like a Mountain Dew Red, but I will, like, you could definitely tell from my demeanor that I'm like, okay, I'll just go make you a plate, and then like I'll go make them a plate. Now that was before. Now you can make your own fucking plate. I ain't fixing nobody nothing except myself. Don't touch my shit. Don't I'm very, very protective of Curly these days because I'm the adult that I needed back then. This is somebody who that person could look to, you know, for help, and that's who I needed back then. And you know, here she is. Amberlynn, on the other hand, Amber is like always in your stomach. Like she is always peering into your fucking throat and seeing what is down there. Just like we saw with the Cocoa Puffs and poor Beck. I could see her getting really upset if push came to shove, especially because again, she's not getting adequate sleep. So her reactions to things, they're going to be way radical. And because she's not diagnosed with anything, I mean, it literally could be anything. So I'm not going to say BPD. No, we don't have a diagnosis for Amberlynn. I'm not going to keep using whatever her story is and just believe it because she's fucking lying, as we all know.
On camera like that is like news to me. So knowing that like I viewed a relationship one way and it wasn't, like I genuinely look stupid, but I guess like maybe I low-key deserve it. Realizing that we both viewed this relationship so differently actually makes it easier for me to be accountable and to apologize, because if that's the way that they truly viewed it, like I deeply apologize for that. And there's nothing I can do to change their opinions and their thoughts.
And that's where she shoots herself in the foot again. It's in the past and there's nothing I can do about it. It's already done. So let's move on. And that to me is very much so, you know, addict and substance abuse right there. I'm not going to change. There's no reason for me to change, even though I have this horrible addiction and I'm destroying my life and I probably won't have a life soon. You know, there's no reason for me to even really apologize because it's already done. Like she's very absolute, which she, you know, had the wherewithal to mention, you know, what's that, a couple months ago, but probably only because somebody else said that to her, you know, obviously, like you always use absolutes and everything. But again, she probably heard that from Emily, another abuser. So like them trying to gaslight each other. Oh my God. Like I can't even imagine being in the same room as these people. I would have to burn it down or something.
Experience, because that's what they lived. And I wasn't the most perfect girlfriend, but I will say I'm not all good. I'm not all bad. And I wasn't that way then either. Like our relationship was definitely complex. And even though it might not be visible to the public or even to Beck in this moment, I have taken accountability for the things that I've done. And in the video.
Can somebody tell Amberlynn what accountability means, please? For the love of all that is holy on this beautiful, beautiful rock of ours. For somebody who says that they're such a learned person, an avid reader, a whatever else she said, chakra reader, I don't remember. Like she doesn't understand general concepts well at all. And again, that's what happens when you're just fucking by yourself with a shitty sleep schedule. You don't know when you're eating. You're up at 3 a.m. to talk about your ex-girlfriend. Like it's the makings of a very, very bad spiral.
Oh, they even stated like, I don't want you to reach out to me. And that's very much why I haven't, because I wanted to respect those boundaries. But they said, I don't want an apology from you. I genuinely feel like that deserves.
And to further my point that she doesn't understand the basic definitions of a lot of these words, she's saying for the respect of Beck, but when she's used that buzzword in the past with Emily, calling her out of her name, calling her Tommy, Amberlynn is telling us, well, it's in respect to her, to Emily, to use the name Tommy for her. That's respect up to her. She wants me to do that. And then not even 24 hours later, that's when Emily is online and says, I don't know where she came up with that name. I don't know why she's saying it. So she has no idea what Amberlynn's even talking about. Like, it's so bad.
It's an apology for the wrong things that I did do. But if they don't want,
this is literally like just such, you know what it's like? It's like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, how the cast is like, they're constantly trying to be hated or whatever. And yeah, this is like a bad episode of that. Because like this main character is just fucking crazy.
I accept it or hear it, then I have to be okay with that. I'm not going to apologize to the internet. The apology wasn't for you guys. It was for them. I feel like in this situation, like this type of accountability should be handled.
I wonder if she sent Beck a formal invitation that said, hey, become a member of my new Scream Queens thing. Thank you. And then poor Beck becomes a member.
And this sort of discussion.
To put an apology behind a paywall is like the most absurd thing. And then to be like, well, I apologize for it. Bitch, you apologize to 200 people. 189 of them are probably trolls for you. They're just paying to see the content first. I don't. She's so delusional.
That is like happening between back and forth with us. These things should be happening in private. And it's like when personal matters like this are brought onto like a public platform, I feel like backed up in a corner, like I have to defend myself or I have to say something. But it's like, I'm not going to sit here and go through every single thing that they said, like every single claim, every single this or that, because that is just going to fuel negativity. I truly don't feel like the back and forth is productive for either of us. But if they truly feel like sharing their story is what is going to help them in the long run, then go for it. But I have to genuinely step away. Like I said, I wasn't going to speak about them, and that was standing. But like hearing all of these things being said, it's been hard for me because it's like
I have stayed away, but I do this, but
growth in my personal life, and it's hard to like show growth publicly when these are things that like was happening behind the scenes. So publicly, I might look the same to you guys, but I have changed a lot. I am always open for growth and for changing to be a better person every single day, and I want to reflect on the past more because that actually genuinely helps me see ways that I need to improve and ways that I already have improved. And I just want to say that anytime that I had Beck on my channel, it was never out of malice. I never meant to disrespect them, and I really did love them. This might be a little tea because no one knows, but when Beck and I were just friends while I was with Feline, and Feline did know this, don't worry.
What the fuck is she about to say now? Like, she's gonna try to drop something again to try to deter the attention from herself, but she just keeps piling it on. Like, it's just, we keep proving you wrong, Ambi. Like, at what point do you have to acquiesce to say, okay, you got me? Like, where's your white fucking flag, dude?
One night I got really drunk, and I told Beck, like, I really was in love with you, and I still love you. Like, you're a great person. And I hyped them up because genuinely, I owe so much to them, and I have so much gratitude to them. They were there for me during some of the hardest moments of my life, i.e. when I was diagnosed with cancer. But I have never tried to show them in a certain way. Nothing was ever out of malice from the bottom of my heart, and I just really needed to make that clear. Honestly,
it's not clear. It's not clear. My dirty ass bong is clearer than whatever the fuck that was. Yo, she is so fucking unbearable, dude.
I can really do is just continue working on myself. My focus moving forward is to just ignore it all. Like, I wanted to take what Beck is doing and put it in like a positive way.
This isn't ignoring it at all. By ignoring Amberlynn Reid means she's gonna come on and make videos about it.
Positive spin to it and like be like, yeah, I am accountable, but at the same time, obviously, like I do find frustrations.
And this is her new thing too, is telling on herself about what she was quote unquote trying to do, which was manipulate the situation to look like it was something that it wasn't.
In the ways that I feel like they are exaggerating or they have lied. I do firmly believe that two things can happen at once. I can be accountable, but I can also be frustrated. But I'm not accountable and frustrated about the same things. Like everyone likes to say, there are three sides to every story. Their side, my side, the truth. And like a really good example of like people viewing things differently, like kind of what's going on with like Blake and Justin. Blake feels like one thing happened, well, Justin's like, no, that's not what happened. So you know what? I can't even sit here and firmly be like, okay, Beck is lying, because if they viewed it that way, then I have to accept that for what it is, because what's true to someone and the way that they view something might not be true to everyone else in the room. I want to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Of course you do.
If I'm remembering something wrong.
See, of course you do. She can't fucking help herself. She's so impulsive. It's that instant gratification, man. It's the hand to mouth action. It's the consume so she can feel something inside of her because she doesn't have any joy. And then the delusion that she is almighty.
Full truth, then that's fair as well, because I have really bad memory problems due to moments of high stress, trauma, BPD. When I have anxiety, sometimes I'll literally like black out because I'm so anxious. And I just want to say, whether my apology was behind a paywall, whether it was in a Snapchat, whether it's in a YouTube video, or whether I say it to Beck directly, it is 100% sincere. And I have apologized to them personally, but that was years ago after our breakup. Beck and I was friends for about a year after we broke up. And obviously that didn't work out, which I understand, but I did apologize to them. I don't think that I took as much accountability as I do take now, because like I said, every day I like to reflect and just grow into a better person. So I'm not going to that I took as much accountability as I do take now, because like I said,
yeah, like you said, you don't take accountability.
Every day I like to reflect and just grow into a better person. So I'm not going to sit here and list off every single claim that they said and write down like, okay guys, these are the things that are true and these are the things that aren't, these are the things that I'm accountable for. Like, there's no productivity in that, because whether the internet knows what I'm accountable for versus what I'm not accountable for, that doesn't bother me. The only person that I'm worried about, and then
she refuses to tell the truth. I think because she wants to have a story. If she tells the truth, she's just like one of us normies out here, you know, raw dogging it out in the world. I don't think she's ever had that.
actually hearing me is Beck. And if they don't want to, that's their prerogative. I'm okay with that. I want them to do whatever helps them. I'm not apologizing for myself. I'm apologizing to the person that I was in a relationship with for almost 5 years. And I hurt them, and I'm sorry for that. I really want to continue taking that
Look, and here come the fucking tears. It's not genuine. It's just not.
Experience in that relationship and learning from it. Beck can say absolutely anything from this point forward, and I am not going to respond. I genuinely wish them nothing but the best. And the apology that I need to give to you guys, if I hurt any of you during this whole thing because you guys care for Beck, then I'm also sorry for that. I'm a very flawed individual. That is not an excuse, but I'm a flawed individual that can learn from this experience.
I doubt it.
I have. Whether people see it or believe it, I know it because I am my own person, and I know how I've...
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
And in past relationships...
I like literally don't know what else to say that isn't going to be completely vulgar and, you know, me just going off on her hangry.
And more mature, and I've learned more about my BPD and just who I am as a person. I have become a better person, and I have become a better girlfriend. I've become a better...
Who is she trying to argue for, you know? And it's like, it's always her, bottom line. So she is still shopping for a girlfriend. This is just to put out that fire, because that's probably her ultimate thought, is to try to find a girlfriend.
Friend, I've become a better pet parent, I've become a better daughter, I've become a better sister. But
is she... How do you say that you're a good pet owner if you lost one of your elder cats in the last 6 months? Please riddle me that. I don't know where she would say that, unless, you know, she's been watching other reaction channels and she's copying them, which is still possible.
So flawed. I'm super complex and nuanced, just like we all
We need everybody to mark themselves safe from Amberlynn Reid.
are. And this just has to be the last time that I speak about this, to protect my peace. And I hope that
we'll see.
Beck does things that also protects theirs. I'll see.
Don't worry about Beck. Beck is doing just the fuck fine. You don't need to be worrying about Beck. You worry about your goddamn self, okay? I'm so tired of her bullshit, dude.
That's my next video. Bye.
Especially now that Beck is back. Like Amberlynn talking about Beck is so infuriating to me. This is an abuser who is now probably, and actively probably has been trying to discount I lost my train of thought. I was thinking about sleeping. What the hell was I even talking about?
Welcome, friends, haters, gentle lovers, and feeders. Join me as we experience together the most bafflingly interesting person on the internet. On today's episode, Amberlynn Reid does basically nothing. Hello, my friends. So Amberlynn just uploaded, and she says she's going to be responding to Beck. I think that's going to translate to lying about most of what Beck said.
Hello. So welcome. Apologizing for myself. I'm apologizing to the person that I was in a relationship with for almost 5 years. And I hurt them, and I'm sorry for that. I really want to continue taking that experience in that relationship and learning from it. Beck can say absolutely anything from this point forward, and I am not going to respond. I genuinely wish them nothing but the best. Sure. An apology that I need to give to you guys. If I hurt any of you during this whole thing because you guys care for Beck, then I'm also sorry for that. I'm a very flawed individual. That is not an excuse, but I'm a flawed individual that can learn from this experience.
What is she talking? The only thing that ALR learned is that she doesn't want the inside of her sausages to be pink when she puts them on high on the stove.
And thankfully, I have. Whether people see it or believe it, I know it because I am my own person, and I know how I've been in past relationships. And as I've gotten older and more mature, and I've learned more about my BPD and just who I am as a person, I have become a better person, and I have become a better girlfriend. I've become a better friend. I've become a better pet parent. I've become a better daughter. I've become a better sister. But I'm still flawed. I'm super complex and nuanced, just like we all are. And
oh my God, no, you're not.
The last time that I speak.
You're the most disgusting piece of garbage that... Okay, I haven't seen, like, that one girl. I think Snowflake did a thing on her. Is that Alphaba? I think that's one of them. And then there was another girl and her family, and they were like living in roach infested places, but they were still on the internet. Like, I didn't know that anybody came on the internet, like just anybody. I really assumed it was like people who like wanted to create content in whatever way. So they're joining that community. Amberlynn doesn't do stuff for the community. That family doesn't do stuff for the community. You know, nobody claims them. But you go be in your delusions, Ambi. Fucking weirdo. I think that's going to be it. I said what I needed to say during. Feel free to ask any questions or pop off in the comments below. Again, thank you so much for being here, guys. I'm so very thankful to get to do this, you know, right now every other day, and you know, coming up with some other things like planning wise. So I'm very, very excited to be here. Thanks for coming in, and have a good rest of your weekend. Bye.